Jordan Moore, Max Brown, and the head coach for USC women's volleyball, Brad Keller, joins us now. And Brad, it's technically you're just getting started with your second year, but what a weird time to take over a program. I mean, your first season, technically you played 15 total matches. It was nothing normal. It was nothing normal for anybody last year. What was it like trying to start a program when you couldn't do probably a lot of the things that you would have wanted to do in your first year?
Hi, guys. How are we? Can we go 1.5 and not 2, year 2? 1.5.
Yes.
Okay,
I honestly think that's probably fair, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the way I imagine you think about it.
No, it was I can go on for days about it, but it was really, really hard last year for multiple reasons. Number one was I got hired, and then we had COVID hit within, I think it was 10 or 12, I don't know what the days were, but I had to get to know my team through Zoom.
Yep.
And we can do it, but it takes a lot of time. It changes all parameters. And then there was all these things that happened during the year. Are we playing? Are we not? We can train, but we can't play actual volleyball. You can only go over the net pepper. And for all the out there that don't know that, that means like you're not blocking. You're not actually playing volleyball. You're doing like specific things that don't actually translate or help your game. And so we actually played real serious volleyball January 10th or something like that, and then we played Oregon State January 14th or whatever it was. So we started actual training at that point, and it was just a hodgepodge through and through. And we were doing well, but then COVID hits. You're sidelined for 14 days. And we're not the only team. There were so many teams that got hit by it. So I don't know that it was a true barometer or a real idea of what it was. But we learned a lot of things about ourselves and team composure and getting along with each other and all those other things that just don't really matter, but matter a ton.
One of the players that's been around for quite some time in this program, Brooke Botkin, a lot of experience, some leadership. What has she meant to this team, but then to your transition as a whole, coming over here as a new head coach?
Brooke is Brooke's phenomenal. I can go into a number of different things, and there's multiple players like this. But so Brooke came back, and she wasn't in. She'll tell you this. She wasn't in the shape that she wanted to be, and she could have graduated and moved on. She chose to come back, got in incredible shape. Tells you where she was mentally and what this means to her. I'm her third head coach, so let's talk about what that looks like.
Yep.
I mean, who are you, Brad, and why are you coaching me? And I didn't come to USC for this. And so she's decided to buy all in, and she's one of the hardest working kids in there. She never complains. We had an interview with a sports, I don't know who it was, but then she said something I didn't realize, and that meant a lot to me. She can tell you that. It's actually public, it's great, but she just enjoys what we're doing, and I don't know, she's a badass. Can I say that?
Badass. There you go.
She's a badass, and so we need that here, and she's going to be a really important part of what we're doing.
Yeah, and what you're doing is a project. You're taking over a program and you're trying to build it. And how do you balance sort of your internal competitiveness of I want to win every single match with I want to grow this thing the right way, and there's sort of no easy fixes on the route to success?
Well, you have Mike Bone and Joyce tell me to breathe, so I know that I'm intense enough where they call me and say, how are you doing? Make sure you breathe. So we're very intense here.
Oxygen's good.
Yeah, oxygen's really good, right? No, this place needs to win, and we need to compete for championships, and I'm very aware of what that is. And I also know that it's not, you don't just get handed that. And I've been around of a lot of rebuilds, and we're not rebuilding, we're retooling, but it still takes more time than the average fan or the SC fan that's known that we win is accustomed to. That's hard. And so, yeah, we're well on our way. There's a lot of fantastic things that are going on, but it doesn't just equal domination wins that SC should be doing. And that's hard. That's hard for everyone else out there listening going well, we want wins now. And I go, yeah, me too. But we got to do it right. Otherwise, it doesn't stay true down the road.
part of that retooling you mentioned has come a scheme change, I understand, moving from a 5-1 with one setter to a 6-2, getting more pins on the court.
You can tell our quarterback here
I got
is
the
now
inside
engaged to a former USC women's volleyball player. So maybe some ringer questions thrown in here.
I appreciate it. What went into that change, and what was the motivation behind it?
Well, before we even get started, what do you think?
I know Raquel, so I like setting her all day long. So I'm good with the 5-1. So that's why I'm asking the question. 6-2. What do we got going on with the second setter on the court?
I am also a big-time 5-1 person, and I hate 6-2s. So we're running 6-2 for very specific reasons. We're not executing certain areas for a 5-1. And so if we do it, then we play a 5-1. If we don't do it, we have more firepower and ability to play ball and win more points with a 6-2. So a lot of people will say 6-2 because you have 3 hitters in the front row, and they'll say other specific things. For me, it's one thing. You've got big-time servers. Raquel is the leading server for our team right now, and then Mia Tuaniga is also bombing balls and scoring points. It's about scoring points. So I'm going to find out how we can score the most amount of points right now until we get rhythm and everything else. But I want my team, you as fans, and everyone to know I do not like 6-2s. I don't want to run a 6-2, and so I don't care who knows that. Eventually, someday, we're going to be running 5-1, and that's kind of what the goal will be.
Well, that is Brad Keller, the new head coach of USC women's volleyball. He is just getting things started. Get out to the Galen Center this season. We had an awesome crowd for the opener this past weekend. Check out usctrojans.com for their full schedule. But building something here, one of our great programs at this school is USC women's volleyball. Brad Keller knows all about it, and he's got plans to get that program back to the heights that the fans hope for and expect. Thank you, Coach. We'll have you on a bunch through